Hey, welcome. This is Adam Mortimer. I'm your success coach. I help people overcome their limiting beliefs so that they can live a life of zero limits. I'm also the author of The Secrets of As a Man Thinketh. In this short video, I'm going to show you the 5 steps to clearing your limiting beliefs. This is incredibly powerful. I've used this on thousands of people, and you're going to see some absolutely astonishing results by following these 5 simple steps. So let's get right to it. Step number 1 in this process of clearing your limiting beliefs is you've got to know what your limiting belief is. So step number 1 is to identify the limiting belief. One of the ways that you can go about doing this is just becoming aware. Bringing the awareness to your limiting beliefs is a key piece to all of this. I'll give you a quick example. If you imagine yourself in a white room and imagine everything's white, it's cold, it's about the temperature of a refrigerator, and you have a piece of silk. And you just repeat that word silk. I'm going to ask you to say it about 5 times. Silk, 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 silk. What do cows drink? Just let the first answer that pops in your mind just go with that answer. Now, for most of you, you're going to have said milk. And this is a powerful metaphor of how limiting beliefs work. And also, you know, the only way to overcome a limiting belief is you first have to become aware of it. How often in life are you saying the wrong answer? Milk, for example, and the correct answer is water. And by saying that wrong answer, you're totally sabotaging your life. That could be your success. That could be in a lot of different areas. All right, let's go to step number 2. After you have identified the limiting belief, so let's say your limiting belief is I'm not good or I don't deserve it. That's a very common one. So once you've identified it, you want to rate it. And what I mean by rating it is you want to rate the emotional charge. How strongly do you feel that limiting belief on a scale from 0 to 10? So the key is you want to go with the first answer that pops into your mind. Okay, so if the answer is 5, just go with it. There's a lot of research that shows that even though you just barely consciously became aware of the number, there's a whole lot of unconscious processes that are going on. Case in point, there was a study that was done with the man in an MRI machine. And in one hand he had a green button, and in the other hand he had a black button. And the whole test was very simple. The experiment was very simple. He was simply to tell the experimenters what color popped into his mind and pressed that button as soon as he consciously became aware of it. Well, these experimenters, by noticing the patterns of this gentleman's mind, could actually predict a full 6 seconds in advance what button he was going to push. So going with that first number that pops into your mind, there's a lot of evidence that shows that that is the closest answer to your unconscious mind. So just trust it and go with that first answer. So for example, a 10 would be you strongly resonate with the limiting belief, and a 0 would be you don't rate it all. You don't resonate with it at all. So if I really felt I didn't deserve it, I might be like a 7 or an 8. All right, let's go to step number 3. After you've identified it, you've given it, you've rated it, at least the emotional charge on it. The reason we rate it is because we know that emotion drives human behavior. That's important to remember. Then we go to the metaphor. Look, we know that for eons and eons of time, mankind has shared information through stories and through metaphors. So it's one of the most powerful ways of communicating directly with your unconscious mind is through metaphors. So I'm going to give you a real simple metaphor that you can use to clear any limiting belief. So it's very simple. You simply, once you've rated the energy or the emotion, you notice where in your body do you feel that energy. So maybe you feel it in your heart, maybe you feel it in your stomach. The next thing is you want to give it a color. You can give it, you know, red, green, whatever. Again, go with the first color that pops into your mind. So go inside yourself, give it a color, also give it a size and a shape. Maybe it's a square, maybe it's round, maybe it's the size of a basketball. Okay? What you want to do is you want to imagine that energy coming from where it is and pulling it outside of your body. And by doing this, sends a strong message to your unconscious mind to turn off that emotional charge, because that's the trigger that's causing the self-sabotage. All right, after you've done that process, so you've taken the energy, you've pulled it outside of your body, and you've destroyed it, we go on to step number 4. And step number 4 is to re-rate the emotion. So after you've cleansed it once, usually it's going to come down a few points. It might come down 3 to 5 points your first time you clear it. So you might need to do it a few times before the energy is totally turned off. The goal always is to get down to a 0, so that limiting belief has no energy, it has no fuel in it. So we re-rate it on a scale from 0 to 10, so maybe I was a 7, and now I come down to, we'll say, a 5. Okay? Well, then we go back to step number 5. And this is where we rinse and repeat. So we repeat these steps over until the energy is completely turned off. Now, how do you know when you're clear? There's a real simple test you can use. What you want to do, once you've gotten yourself all the way down to a 0 and you no longer feel the emotion, what you do is you try to feel the emotion again. And if you've done it correctly, you'll find it virtually impossible. In fact, it will be impossible for you to feel that energy again. All right, so this is Adam Mortimer. If you've liked this video, please hit that little like button. Also share it. We'd love you to comment as well. Post if it worked for you. Let us know. We'd love to hear about it. And also make sure to sign up for the free training videos that we have where we go a lot deeper into these 5 steps. Thanks again for watching. Bye-bye.